doesn't need no opera. Here for the operation. We don't need bigger knife. Yeah. Cause we got guns, we got guns, we got guns, we got guns, we got guns. You better run, you better run, you better run. We're killing strangers, we're killing strangers, we're killing strangers so we don't kill the ones that we love. We're killing strangers, we're killing strangers, we're killing strangers so we don't kill the ones that we love. We pack demolition. We can't pack emotion. Dynamite, we just might. So blow us a kiss, blow us a kiss, blow us a kiss, we'll blow you to pieces. We're killing strangers, we're killing strangers, we're killing strangers so we don't kill the ones that we love. We got guns, we got guns, motherfuckers better, better, better run. We got guns, we got guns, motherfuckers better run. We got guns, we got guns, motherfuckers better, better, better run. We got guns, we got guns, motherfuckers better. We're killing strangers, we're killing strangers, we're killing strangers so we don't kill the ones that we love. We're killing strangers, we got guns, we're killing strangers, we got guns, we're killing strangers so we don't kill the ones that we love. You better run, 'cause we got guns, 'cause we got guns, we got guns.
Yes. Welcome back to part 2 / the last part. We were going so smooth. I thought we had it down. I
It
swore
was
we
all
had
peace and quiet until the Star People attacked.
I know, I had to bring up the star people, and it fucking just ruined everything.
We don't
Oh,
even have a
fuck.
Anyways, note to self. No,
You
no,
live, you learn.
no bringing them up again. I actually don't even remember we were talking about. My brain's been wiped during that.
We're chatting about Starlink, and your
Yeah.
SO took a picture of him.
Oh yeah, right. That's right. I was gonna do that. Let me just open up that weaponized directory again. That fucking completely froze my machine before. Let's get that opened up once again. I actually kind of wonder where the hell it is. Where did I name it? I'm like asking all these questions that shouldn't be asked out loud. But Dan doesn't have a filter, you see. In the meantime, I just remembered something that's way more important. Way fucking more important. We're gonna talk about that. Just for a quick second.
But what do?
Well, dude, wow, my mouse is like dying again. The fuck is going on?
Yeah, no self. You should be doing Skull, but this is more enjoyable.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Blow that off. Whatever.
I was wondering where the fuck you were going with that, man.
Whatever you were supposed to be doing, just blow it off.
Are we really
Or-
back to the wall of cocks again?
Yeah, I was gonna say, or blow whoever you want. It's America. Even though I'm pretty sure he said at the top of the show that he wasn't from America, but I am glad I did not pull that up on stream. But I want to give some people some props. Curious, you're one of them.
What did I do now? I didn't do it, I swear.
You did, though, and you're amazing for it. I only have a partial list here, so this is not an entirely full list, but I want to give specific shouts to the people that and I mean I guess I kind of did already with the tweet on the Hacker Rehab Twitter, but I had the streamer donation list, and it doxes you, and it gives me your social security number, your like all your info. It's insane what it gives me. But I I'm joking. I want to thank you guys. Like seriously, Upgrade Solution, fucking hell yeah. That absolutely rules. Curious, thank you so much. Sparglops, you guys kick ass. This is back from a while back, and man, this was some stuff that I wasn't seeking, but it inspired me to kind of keep going with it a little more than I had planned on going. So I definitely really appreciate it. We also got Trevor Dubu. I don't know if he's on or if he wanted me to say that name. It looks like a handle though. And then Ramp Floor Wall, which I definitely shouldn't have just said because that is somebody's first and last name. I'm always mixing Ramp Floor Wall up with a clearly fake name. My humor's getting too dry, huh?
I love this. I'm sorry. I just love the awkward silence of letting something fall flat. I'm so sorry.
We're not good co-hosts, hey? We're terrible friends and terrible co-hosts. So like, come on,
No,
help it out.
you are the best co-hosts for doing that because whenever I bomb, you should let me sit in it. Like, let me sit in that mess I just fucking made because I deserve it.
I mean, look at what Elon told
100%.
his kid. If Elon's kid had joined the stream, he'd be like, "Oh yeah."
Oh man, yeah. But seriously, just the donation stuff. It's not. They weren't donations even. They were just. I say just, but they were subscriptions early on that um you you kind of almost don't see because they scroll past sometimes and you fucking miss them. But if you're looking at the metrics for your account, that's when you see them. Like they pop right out. There's no way to miss them. And I saw them and I was kind of like taken aback by them. So thank you. I wanted to personally say thank you. Face to Avatar ish.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's talk about Star People. No, this is not live. What's in my AppSec?
Yeah,
So
this ain't live. This is a pre-recorded message of us presentiently understanding that you're gonna say, "Is it live?" and then just this is recorded, man.
yeah, I mean, like frankly, we're gonna say it like repeatedly for on every 5 minutes. We're gonna be like, yeah, what's in my AppSec? It's live, and we're gonna say it out of nowhere. So
Yep.
that's the way
I
we
mean,
roll.
it took us a good 15 minutes to come up with that before the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, he has mod view. That's funny. I actually haven't looked at mod view on this stream yet. Oh, do you have it on Hacker Rehab? Oh, you do. Yeah, that's right. I remember giving you it.
I think we don't have Note Bear on there though.
Oh, we don't. No. I think I only added what's on my OPSEC, I believe, so far. I was doing a test and he seemed like the perfect test subject. Yeah.
So yeah, we have what's in my OPSEC that just asked if this is live. So yep, this is live.
Yeah. Yeah, this is live. Trust us. Anyways, you think I'll ask about ModView again? Probably.
Probably, yeah.
We've
Let's wait
been.
another 30
I
seconds
bet
and
you
go
we've
for
been
it.
on the money so far. Like the past few episodes, we've gotten them. We shouldn't. We shouldn't. Fucking with people's heads like that, man. I've had a different change of heart in that almost. We've traded mod stats. We did? I don't remember doing that. The fuck? Okay. Well, since I can't find the video, like, who the fuck loses a goddamn video that they make? I made this video and I exported it and everything, and I lost it. So
What are you doing?
I gotta.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna have to play it from YouTube. The fuck? Oh, you know what? I actually have a raw copy. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, no self saying they're hackers, don't trust them. I mean, you know, or they're hackers, they're the best, most trustworthy people.
Mm-hmm. It all depends on what kind of mood we're in and which personality we're talking to.
Right?
If only that weren't true. I'm gonna look for this for one more second, and then I'm just gonna pull out the big guns and do the YouTube up. The only reason I don't want to pull YouTube is I had a couple of really cool pictures, but it looks like I have to. Shit. Oh, you know what? He doesn't take pictures on his phone like a normal human. So he has a really low picture count. It's mixed in with all mine. He's not even here to defend himself. Okay. So, I think you guys can see.
So I got a question for y'all.
Yeah.
Fishing campaign,
Holy shit.
COVID related, this late into the game. What are you guys' thoughts? Ethical or not?
That's shithouse. Sorry.
Yeah,
No,
but it's real. But it happens, right? So I'd say tread lightly, but okay. Only if you tread
Yeah?
lightly.
how good? No, you don't answer this, but how good do you think the security maturity is of the organization you're testing it on?
That's a very
Because
good question.
a lot of the time, like I've seen red teams go and cook up a perfect fish. They go get a SSL cert, they do up a nice site and everything else. I was like, what is that proving? That you're just showing off that they're incredibly cunning. They get a very high click-through rate and go, oh, look how good we are. So of the fishing that I'm doing, usually I have a couple of real obvious ones first, and then I do a sweep at training and re-education before I drop something like COVID or workplace safety or something that's actually got a real good hook to it. So you might get a lot of resentment, right? If you bait a lot of people with a COVID phishing email, they might be like, "Oh, it's those guys in security. What a bunch of dicks."
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, I can
lead up
see
to
that.
it and be like, "We're teaching
So
you," and it was like the final boss of phishing. Or
what
you
if
know, whatever.
the click through is like super gentle and hey, no repercussions. We're not going to monitor metrics. We just want to tell you that some people out there are trying to get you with this stuff. If you want, you don't feel obligated to it, but here's just some videos that can show you like how to spot fish better and stuff like that. Like really let them off easy on a cloud. Just they feel bad already. They got caught by that, and they already are pissed at the asshole security guy that sent that fish out. So what about that spin? And I'm asking that because I have seen just a fucking huge global uptick in everything that's relating to COVID fishes, even
Yeah,
in companies that I have a direct hand in helping. And it's something that if we were proactively trying to dissuade people to like just you see an email coming in pretending to be the company you're working for, and you just click fucking that link thinking it's going to lead you to something like the overall infection ratio of the company, you know, at some
Wow.
point it's kind of a
Hmm.
do we do it for the good of everyone and just take the flack of being assholes, or do we really go after the kind of being the good guys that just maybe flag it to people, but the message doesn't go across as well?
I th- I I think yes, personally. Uh, and Sparkle App's the only reason I'm jumping in here is because I know I'll forget what I was about to say. And I know you have strong feelings on it. Uh, but I would say yes, but not in the way that you just described. The way you just described would be what I would consider the wrong way of handling it. This is an extremely sensitive topic. Uh, I cannot I cannot even broach it essentially anymore because people are extremely polarized and very upset about it, and rightfully
yeah,
so. I mean, it's for lack of a better term, a fucking boogeyman for real. Like it literally is. And for some people that are, especially in the risk pool and stuff, like, man, it just gets too rough. So, if you were to do some kind of COVID related phishing, you would really have to sit down and think of a way to to defang it enough to not be offensive and scary and all that other good stuff. And still prey on the curiosity that's naturally going to be there. Like, yeah,
Well, even
having
then, you've got people who might have lost loved ones to it or something.
exactly, yeah.
So it's so incredibly church. You could grab some
There's
COVID phishing from your spam filters and show people in Slack and be like, look at what these bad people are trying to do.
yeah, or you know what? That's actually not a bad idea. Maybe take one that you've caught and de-worm it or whatever.
Yeah.
De exploited, defang it, and resend it back through whitelisted to the company with your own phishing link replaced, and just silently kind of gather metrics on it. And maybe this is one that you don't have to report on or tell the people that they fucked up on. There's that option too. Silently noting this person is in a risk pool for phishing and keeping tabs on them in further phishing campaigns is a completely viable
Yes.
methodology, I think.
Yeah, 100%. We have a like a security AMA channel where I work. Well, everywhere I've worked, I've set one up or been involved in one. Where you can go into the security AMA channel and be like, I'm uncomfortable with this, or I'm not sure about this. And we occasionally post security awareness stuff there. So even just a screenshot. Now, the way we admin our Slack is every employee who joins the company has to join the security AMA. They can't opt out of it. They can't leave. So it's just there as an awareness funnel. So you can also,
It's a good idea.
and what we found is users started sharing their own. And that's when you could really champion awareness and be like, hey, thanks, Alice or Bob or whoever sent it through. Yeah, that's really good. I see why you're worried about that because blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
A pro blue team tip, I guess.
That's
that's actually a really good piece of advice, and for anyone watching, it's building security community within your org is going to be so critical to the success of your cybersecurity program. No matter what anyone else tells you, people that don't understand you exist or that don't know why you're there are 100 times more likely to just fuck up, right? If you that whole what you guys are doing with everyone that joins the company needs to be in that security AMA channel, that is a huge bonus that just about everyone with a distributed chat system needs to be doing.
I like it a lot. That's a great tip. Is
sure.
that something publicly shareable as a tip, or probably not, right?
Yeah, no, it is. I'm happy because I've blogged about it. I've talked to
okay.
B-sides. I've talked to B-sides about how I do my awareness programs and that kind of thing, and that was definitely one part of it. The one thing you gotta watch, I'll say this,
Great. I
is
feel
when
like an
you have
asshole.
an AMA channel, you sometimes might get somebody coming in and offering their 2 cents as a non-security expert, like. You'll get somebody going and saying SMS 2FA is a waste of time.
Oh,
And
those fun people.
The whole company's vulnerable because we used SMS 2FA or something like that. So you got to be prepared to chat back and educate at any hour of the day. You can't let it
Challenge
go unmoderated and you can't leave stuff hanging.
You should challenge them next time they say that. Be like, go ahead and sim swap me. Let me see you do it.
Yeah.
Let me see you do it, bitch.
Just straight up in the corporate chat starting fights with people. That's beautiful.
Well, that's the funny thing. That's why people stick around on the channel, because they want to see the NASCAR accidents that are happening in there.
Right. For us, we actually got
if
quite
you
a bit
want
of
people, they just want to see some carnage. They're not that interested in hanging out with the cops. Trust me, I know how people work, but
that's very
that's
funny.
that's what you can do. You can say to them, "All right, do some damage." You get a little bit cheeky. You're like, "All right, hotshot, off you go."
Mm-hmm.
I'll DM you my phone number and I'll buy you a Snickers bar if you get me.
Yeah, we actually set something up for some of our devs where over a weekend we got a couple of them that were security interested and that like, hey, we found a few things. We're not sure who to report them to or what to do about it. And we ended up holding a hackathon over the weekend where we were streaming on the corporate platform everyone that was doing it, and we ended up getting close to like 500 people to tune in at the same time, where we had a couple folks just talking about what was going on because to laymen it was just weird as shit. And then we got a whole bunch of bugs from our vol management platform vetted. We got a couple of them fixed. Like, it was overall an exercise in like getting shit done while highlighting to people how we get shit done, right?
Nice
cool.
job, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, seriously. Bravo. It's I think anybody that actually does work in I would guess both red and blue side corporate security especially would agree that communication and crossing silos is probably harder than any other part of the job.
Yeah, for sure. Like another thing, how we got a lot of traction early on to kind of establish that security community part of awareness is memes. Just making memes about actual situation where policies might um, feel weird to users or counterintuitive. We know that they're counterintuitive and we know that we get a lot of questions. Like, our FAQ is based around that. But then when we post those memes, people are like, hey, that's true. Why is that the case? And then we can give them a referral to whatever resource explains it, right? That was a huge part of getting things off the ground, where it got people interested in like a really engaging way of just memeing the fuck out of our own company and then explaining to people why that was a thing.
That's
Nice.
awesome. Haven't heard of the memes idea before, but that's any ideas like that, any social idea really is just amazing. Like that's what's up.
Straight up, it's a people problem, man. Like,
Yeah, it is, right? Like literally, security comes down to being a people problem.
Yeah, people and politics. So, on the flip side of my original question, if you were to craft the perfect fish, what would be your pretext? Whether that be around so something general, whether that's COVID or it's I'm not going to go as far as to say like current political climate, like BLM stuff like that, because that's kind of a no touching zone.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm gonna steal one of mine
Sadly,
then.
I
I don't
gotta
use it
say,
anymore. But I
sadly,
usually set up a LinkedIn as a student or as a recent graduate, and then I reach out and say, "Hey, I want to be just like you. Um, I'm aware of all the good work you do. Can we start chatting?" And that getting people to talk about themselves and what they do, it's like an instant hook, or they want to help somebody, or they want to get involved in the community, or come speak at a group of students. It's like
yeah,
it's you can tailor it pretty well, and
you gotta
if you
do it.
make any obvious mistakes, they go, "Oh, they're a student. They're not savvy in the way of the world that it works." So you can get away with a lot as well.
Yeah, true.
So
The only
that
thing is that you
pretext to
can.
me is like super sneaky and underhanded, and I love it because it panders both to the guy that wants to show off what he knows for self-validation, as well as the guy that actually genuinely wants to help and mentor people.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I think the thing you got to be careful with there is literally causing. Everybody handles things differently, like social situations differently, and we handle social situations differently at different times in our lives too. Um, and so, you, especially when social engineering and phishing stuff, more social engineering, I see side, but like playing on people's emotions and things like that, that's Oof. I get that the reasoning behind it is you're trying to fortify these people and you're trying to protect them in the future. But that's why you need to do it in a tactful, respectful, uh, almost kind of way, because, and then maybe scare them a little bit when you're briefing them. But if you fuck with their heads too much, you're risking fucking somebody's life up. For just bluntly, you're risking fucking somebody's life up.
Well, that's actually a really good point, and that makes me think. I can't remember which podcast I heard her on, but it was Jack Hyde that was talking about one of the physical pen tests she was doing, and at some point, she puts on a fake pregnant stomach, goes into a shop, tells the person, "Look, I really, really have to take a piss. Can you please escort me to the nearest washroom or anything?" And so she gets by, and as she gets by, she drops something while she's picking it up, plugs a USB into the nearest computer, and then goes to the bathroom, right? So to me, those are kind of not necessarily one of the same, but they're highly related in that playing on people's heartstrings can fuck them up, but if you execute it correctly, it can be a good thing for them anyway.
Yeah,
So I'm going to say it's about the debrief as well.
absolutely.
You can't have something with that much venom in it without then going back and saying, "Hey, I did something really horrible to you. I did it to show you what a motivated, skilled attacker is capable of doing, and I respect, some boundaries might have been crossed. If you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. But
Yeah.
I chose this because I wanted to see you become squishy and hurt you, and I did.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a really good way of putting it, actually. And I think uh, the thing that always comes up is like everybody, I think generally that's even listening right now is probably a pretty good person, and I think capable of understanding that that's needed. However, because of the world that we live in, there's going to be a huge population of security teams that don't give a fuck or think it's funny, even. And that's the thing that irks me, because I know it happens. I know it happens. Bad phishing operations take place, and people get hurt, people get messed with, and it will not have a good impact on your security posture. Let's put it that way. If anything, it's gonna make it that much more worse. And so I implore you, if you have any say into how things go, maybe bring this part of it up, the ethics part or whatever. But if you don't bring it up, perhaps nobody else will, and you're left with a rudderless campaign that could easily go off the rails and cause serious damage.
Yep, absolutely.
But yeah. The COVID thing, though, I want to say no to that so bad, right? But
Yeah.
the volume's so fucking high right now, of actual attackers using it, right? So
Yep.
it's got to get addressed. And maybe it's just an awareness campaign that's just drilled into their head. Like they got to click a friggin' banner every time they log into their computers from now on that says, "Do not click anything with COVID on it unless it has this signed certificate from the company at the top."
That's a good point.
Something like that maybe could be a good offset for an actual phishing op. But I don't think it's too much to. I don't think it's too much to say it's off the table, because the argument that some people may have lost family members, etc. There's other things, like I know at one point, I'm pretty sure I got an email about my life insurance policy being lapsed, and it ended up being a phishing op. And like for somebody that just lost a loved one, that's the same thing, right? There's going to be those situations. There always is. That's why it's important to have strong debriefs for those one-offs, those edge cases.
Well, here's the thing. What are you optimizing for? Like how mature is your org and all that sort of thing? Because you can, if you're doing the teaching part and be like, we used urgency, we used something to freak you out, you can do an unpaid invoice.
Right. Yeah.
Or a contract. It has the same
impact.
Well,
same things that you're willing to teach them about.
yes and no.
I
You can do the unpaid invoice, but that's only going to target a specific business unit, right? Like, not everyone's going to be able to relate to it.
Yes, that's
You're right, actually. Yeah.
like payroll, not getting your paycheck on time, things like that. That's gonna affect everybody, and they're gonna freak the fuck out because they can't make the car payment or they can't make rent. Those are gonna be high value phishing things. Things that are specialized, like your Adobe Photoshop license is gonna expire soon. Okay, maybe the marketing team or whatever is gonna give a shit, but
Yeah.
you know, a lot of the engineers may not care, or may actually. They're probably taking the licenses home. But no, you get what I mean. It's like it's just a. I think something we uncovered, or maybe you guys knew about it and it's just uncovered for me, but it really sounds like debriefing is, if not the most important part of
Oh, yeah.
a phishing campaign.
Absolutely. Being able to not necessarily, patronize them and take them by the hand, but really just trying to virtually give them a nice big warm hug into, oh shit, you clicked it. I'm so sorry. Here's what you can do for it not to happen again. And you can use something that they can use both in their corporate life and in their personal life, right? You want to help them out as much as possible. And if you can help them in their personal life, they'll apply that by default to their corporate life.
One of the things that I say to the victims that we managed to get, I said, I sat down and tried to trick you, and I used all my skills to do that, and I succeeded. You're not a bad person. You're not stupid. I conned you. And here's how I did it, and here's the sort of the things to look out for. But placing that emphasis on, like, I put the malicious actor hat on and I got you. It doesn't make you a bad person or incompetent or anything. Like, this happens to lots of people, and this is why we do these exercises.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that a lot. I'm much respect to you for that. I think it's without it, what are you even gaining?
Yeah, what have you achieved, right? Other than having people distrust you.
Yeah, right. Like distrusting the company completely. Like, I don't need to do this training. This is just some more bullshit that the security team's sending out. No.
Yeah, exactly.
This is your yearly training. You gotta do this. No, I'm not clicking that.
And that your comment about yearly training kind of triggered that little part of my brain of that yearly security awareness training. How deep do you want to make it so that it doesn't just check a box for your fucking audits, right? That it actually gives something meaningful to the employees that go through it. Or like you can have all the engineers just edit whatever it is platform you use for your LMS and go through the training, or they can actually pay attention to what's being displayed in front of them because it's genuinely interesting for them. Like the whole training awareness, the security awareness training piece is also so incredibly important and so often overlooked by massive orgs that just don't have the time to tailor it to the daily ops of their folks in different business units, and then end up just giving half-assed garbage for the sake of checking a box in their audits.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't scale, man. That's the thing. Like, you got to get a couple of your analysts or security engineers, just whoever you're going to do it, right? Making context and role appropriate training for. We'll do one for marketing. We'll do one for the engineers. We'll do one for this. And after a while, it stops scaling, and you're like, all right, we're going to pre-record some YouTube videos, and that's how you end up with a platform full of crappy tick boxes and whatever else. I know that because I was the only security guy in a startup, which grew from like 10, 15 people to about 400 across a couple of campuses in 3 years. And there was just no way I could get around doing awareness. That's how I came up with the idea of Slack channels and chatbots and finding real cheap and easy, meaningful ways to talk to people, because there was just no way I could get around anyone.
By the way,
Yeah.
it
you know,
definitely, if you didn't put it in the chat already, please do. When you can get a chance to find it, we'll tweet it, because that I like your talk about it and stuff.
Yeah.
That sounds like a really good one to take a look at.
Cool,
Yeah,
cool.
so No Bear just mentioned don't use Kevin Mitnick's thing, and I had to agree with that. Anything Shitnick produces should just be canned immediately.
Yeah, I mean, if they if they are willing to use an inferior ripoff product like that, what else are they willing to use? I'm not talking about Kevin Mitnick at all, of course. I don't know.
No, of course
I don't
not.
know what you guys were talking about. Mine was a completely separate sentence that was disjointed from yours.
Yep.
I am curious what Ahmed Productions meant about scam of the week, SpaceX YouTube scam.
I think it was in the context of asking what kind of phishing pretext have you used most efficiently in the past?
Oh, I was getting excited that he was upset about
Eh.
the fucking video that I put up, because it does, like, I referenced SpaceX in the fucking satellites video, which, by the way, I played that already, right?
I think you played it once, yeah.
Yeah. I think we're getting towards the end, fam.
Yeah, I think so. It's been a good session though.
Yeah, it's been really good. I really, man, I dig this fishing conversation. This was a good one. The TLDR is don't fuck up
Don't
your
burn
fishing
people
campaigns.
meaninglessly.
What's that?
Don't burn people meaninglessly.
Right? Yeah, don't do it out of sport, because
Yeah.
it's easy to do. It's easy to get in that mindset of like, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's
this'll be awesome.
the topic, not the topic, but it's the summary of so many fucking red team assessments or even just pen tests is, hey, I fucked you up. Your security posture is shit, but I'm not going to tell you how to fix it because I owned you. Lol, bye, give me money. Like, it's just so, that whole mindset of doing security for the sake of doing security is just not good. Like, if you're in an org, unless you're a vendor of security products or you're a vendor of security services, you're not doing security for the sake of doing security. You're doing it for your business, for your people. You're trying to make things move forward. Help people. Like, stop being an asshole and help people.
True. One thing I wanted to get to, and I couldn't find the message until just now. No Self, and this hopefully is pretty quick, but No Self did ask, how do you guys feel about organizations punishing people or firing them for being victims? I'm going to give you my take on it real quick and throw it over to you too. My take is a 3-strike rule, basically.
Yeah.
Fool me once, okay, that sucks. Fool me twice. Are you paying attention? Fool me 3 times. You're being reckless.
Yeah, to me, it's very similar, but it's slightly different in the philosophy that I approach. The rule of three for me is once shit happens, twice that might be a coincidence, 3 times typically indicates a pattern, right? So it's a pattern that you want to break either by meeting the person, by warning the person, or in extreme cases, depending on your threat model, you might need to actually let that person go.
Yeah, that's a better way of saying it.
And in between the checkpoints, you gotta. I mean, I believe you gotta say, like, what was hard about this for you? Do you think there's any, external factors that didn't go in your favor, or can we do some retraining? Can we work through it? Because you never know what's triggering people or what's making it hard for them or what they're not getting. So don't go through a disciplinary process for security things or anything without being like, how can I help you?
Yeah, and probably even just to add on to that, just don't base your disciplinary stuff on Hacker Rehab episode.
Yeah, look at your own threat model. What are you trying to protect? What's your crown jewel? And then educate yourself on what it means to defend your own infrastructure. Don't take what we say for gold. Make your own research.
Yep.
Or even better, call in and let us know what's working for you next time we're on.
Damn right.
Yeah, in addition to your deepest corporate secrets.
Yeah.
All right, guys. It's been a great episode. I'm going to play out about 2 songs. First, though, I want to test something.
Get some copyright strike.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta get one more. Should we raid somebody? Is there somebody live that we should raid?
Let me check real quick.
Otherwise, I'm gonna play a 30-second commercial and see if that works. There's only
There's Hack with Bourbon. I think it's Johnny Christmas.
Yeah.
That's a couple of folks.
I don't know. I didn't know he had a thing. What's his?
I don't know if he's on there. Hold on. Give me a
Actually,
sec.
you should be able to
Go ahead.
slash raid him.
I don't even know how to raid, man.
Just in messages, /raid, and then @ Hack with Bourbon. Because you're an editor. You're not just a mod. Actually, I think almost everybody is. Oh snap! See you guys. Have a good.
See ya.
Peace out.
Have a
Be
good
well.
Festivus or something. See ya.
Shut the fuck up and get a lawyer.
Yeah, shut the fuck up and get a lawyer. All right, I'm gonna mute us until we get over to the raid, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace out.